Oh my word. I really thought I was live only to realize I'm not and I'm here. Did my countdown. I'm not live. Yeah. Oleg stepping in. Vikisa, what's all the laughing faces about? What's going on? Vikisa Berzan, what are you laughing at? Oh, stick to talking? Whatever. Any other body. You can hold my body. Whatever. Good morning, Rita. Good morning, Marian. I really thought I pressed, and already 3 minutes gone, and I have so much to talk about this morning. I really thought I pressed the go live button, and I'm sitting here. Went on to Facebook looking for the notification to share, and wasn't seeing it, and I was ready to go off on Mark, only to realize that I'm not I'm not live. Anyway, Lana Williams, good morning over there. Hope all is well. Y'all, I really want you to share the live this morning. If you've never done it before, I really want you to do it this morning because um we have a lot to talk about. Is this here singing across? I can't see. Sing to the left. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I really want to have this conversation this morning. I'm sure you saw the heading of. Did I even share myself? Listen, this big head boy just came in here and totally distracted me. So much so I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Yeah, that big head Jason just came in the studio and we were engaged in conversation and totally threw me off and thought I pressed go live and I didn't. Nessa, good morning. Good morning. Stacy, Kalisha, John, Giads, good morning. How are you doing? How y'all keeps today? Everything good? All right. Okay, well, we're gonna wait for the rest to come on in because like I said, sometimes they get the notification late. So we're gonna start and then of course you guys can chime in and I'd really love to get your feedback on the conversation this morning, which is to do with how many of you are. Good morning, Michael Jackai Jackson. Thank you so much. For what? Thank you. Good morning, Theresa. Good morning, Prince Lion. Good morning, everybody. um I'm good. I'm good. I hope everybody is feeling the same way. I'm good. And this morning in my motivational piece, I sort of sounded the importance of living, loving, and enjoying life. Because with all the uncertainties, with all the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the uglies, and the in betweens, and it's just so much, it can take a mental toll on everyone. Regardless, you're affected in some way. So a reminder that we need to live, love, enjoy, walk, run, and most importantly, breathe and relax. It might sound cliche, but it's something that a lot of people don't really do. You do it because it's automatic. But how many times do you like sit and just breathe, count your breathing, and relax, like going a meditation mode? How many of you have done that? And believe me when I say it really works. It really, really works. When you breathe, some will say count to 10, but I count to 50, and you breathe in, you exhale, you inhale, and you count them as you do so. And you clear your mind. You sort of make space in your mind, and whatever is in there bothering you, you sort of blank it out. You know what I mean? So it's something that we need to do. And another thing is to not make every activity into an occasion for proving your point. And like I said, that is why sometimes you have to take a break from social media. And especially now with the COVID conversation and the vaccine and the non vaccine and this, that, and the other, a lot of folks find themselves in combat mode every day where you're under these lives or you're under these statuses trying to prove your point. If you believe that people should be vaccinated, or if you don't believe in it, you spend a lot of time trying to convince people or trying to prove your point. So don't make every moment into a reason to worry and fret. Just be you and just be fine with that. Let go of any concerns about how you will look or what they think of you, because they're going to look and think anyways. So you can't spend too much time focusing on on how you will look or what they will think of you. I mean, let other people's foolishness be their problem and stop complaining that someone else's crazy behavior is ruining your life. And it took me a while to get to a stage where I've had to learn quick and fast that it's not my job to save the world, and it's not your job to save the world, and it's not the world's job to save me or to save you. It's not my place to set everyone straight, and it's not your obligation to cater to the insecurities of others. So today, and we have a long weekend ahead of us, to breathe, take a deep breath, smile, and have fun, and let yourself and everyone else enjoy the beautiful day wherever you are, and that life that is right now. And I know a lot of us, we are fearful of opening up and talking to, but this one person just sort of took a load off my back for a minute there. Is it sometimes strangers make the best people to talk to, and not necessarily, because when you talk to a stranger, there isn't the fear of being judged. And most time when we talk to our friends and family, we always have the back of a mind. I wonder if they're judging. I wonder, if they'll be disappointed in me. But when you talk to a stranger, there's no disappointment. There's no judgment. You get this sort of open kind of rapport, and you feel so much better. So this one person was my listening ear for a second. Trust me. Thank you so very much for that. Feel really good. Feel really good after that conversation. Sometimes that's all it takes. And I know folks are fearful. Thank you, Prince Lion. Folks are so fearful of opening up and talking to people, even folks they've known for years, because we've developed this diarrhea of our mouths where everything you say to somebody, but you don't know how to keep it in. You have to let it go. A lot of folks walking around with diarrhea mouths. They don't know how to keep stuff in when you confide in them, when you open up to them. Before you know it, your name is making the rounds in some group chat, or somebody said something to somebody. Remember, every friend has a friend. So my friend may not necessarily be your friend, and if I speak to you in confidence, I did not say to you you should tell your friend or discuss what I told you with your friend. It should be between me and you. And I know a lot of folks want to speak up, especially in this really trying time that we live in. People want to talk, they want to get things off their chest, they want a listening ear, but they're fearful because, like I said, we have this condition apart from COVID going around called diarrhea of the mouth, where people don't know how to keep stuff in. So it makes it hard for people who are having a hard time, who are going through depression and having anxiety attacks, or in panic mode, who are stressed, who are just about everything, because life could be very good, and sometimes it could be bad, and sometimes it could be a mixture of both all at once. You could be having a really good moment now, and before you know it, something happens and something throws you off course. So, as much as you like to have people you can talk to, that is one of the things that hinders a lot of folks from opening up, and could save a lot of people going through depression. Have how to deal with it, just don't have that sort of that sort of comfort level to speak to people. But someone says, keep it in the hurts. It really does, but we have to talk with someone. So you just got to find that someone. You don't need to talk to everybody. You just need to find that someone. Yeah? That one. You don't need a whole 2 3, or as my mother would say, a whole TT band of people to talk to. Just 1, 2, if you're lucky to have 2. But anyway, as always, I digress, but I just needed to get that out. What is going on in Jesus's bright and big and beautiful world? Have you all been following the situation in Jamaica? I really hope you all have, because I've heard of crazy stuff, but you always take it with a pinch of salt, because there's like no evidence to support it. You've never seen videos, or you hear little snippets here and there, so you're like, yeah, all in all, it's superstitious foolishness, and that's not happening, or you're thinking it's a movie. This is like a real life movie in Jamaica right now with this cult situation. And practically everybody's talking about it. It is to do with, what's his name? His Excellency. He calls himself His Excellency Kevin Smith and his church. And the name of the church is, hold on. I got information all over the place. The Pathways International Kingdom Restoration in Montego Bay. And it is said to be a religious cult. If you all go to his page, you see, that's why I say I don't do religion. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I don't do church. I'm spiritual. You know, to each his own. Everybody won't have to believe in something. That's on you. But and you can't throw them all in the same basket. They all have their own little issues and their own little whatever going on. But this situation right here is like a OMG situation. Like, what's going on in God's world? Imagine there's no, I don't know, but how an adult, I could understand children. How could an adult be so brainwashed by a man that you literally believe everything he says, and everything he says to do, you do it? And we're talking adults here. Now, there is a situation where the police, of course, got involved and where 3 were killed in stabbing and a subsequent shooting. I've even seen a video of this man with a goat head. I'm going to share the link on my Facebook page. A goat head drinking the blood. Like, have it to his head like he's drinking a cup of water, drinking the blood of that goat. Like, and my skin crawled. I swear. I got goosebumps looking at that. And I'm like, no, this has to be a movie. This has to be, this isn't real. But then I went further and I continued to look at, because like I said, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I said it, that I sleep in Grenada, but lately I feel like I live in Jamaica, because I'm on all the news, I'm all the bloggers, I'm on all the things, Auntie Donna and everybody. It's like, I know way more of what's going on in Jamaica right now than I know what's happening in Grenada. I kid you not. But the situation, there's a voice note that I want to play of someone who was there, and you don't even have to put allegedly, because I mean there's evidence, there's footage. There are people who literally signed away their life insurance policies and all sorts of things to this man. For the love of God, is that what it's supposed to be? And if you go to this man's page, His Excellency Kevin Smith, this man is a madman. How are people following somebody? If you only read some of his rantings and the things that he says, they make no sense. I don't think there's anybody I could follow so blindly. I don't believe. And if you listen to him, this man hardly ever preaches anything like from the Bible. It's like he's making up his own thing and just saying his own thing. Listen, I've heard of folks saying, you know what, the devil lives on earth, and it's not this, image we have in our head of him being down and Jesus up in the sky and he's down below and it's in a pit of hell. The devil literally roams, is living. I won't have time to share everything with you on that, but if you guys were to go on Google or go Jamaica Observer or one of the pages and read it yourself, listen, let me just give you a little bit of the video, the hold on, of the voice notes. I had to listen it first to make sure that it's clean. Hold on. Let me know if you guys are hearing.
Yo, so me just come off of that scene, yo. Remember me tell us, say, yo, No, no, normal, brother. He come like every soldier in a Jamaica did. Every police did. A couple people go hospital. Couple did well. I tell you, say normal, brother. Serious sit me telling you, man. One church member them stab up them one another, shoot up them one another. And then when the police them a come down and fire after them. They on the scene till about 11 6 and left half five. Cause we make a two trip, we make a hospital over paradise now with this. And the next ambulance make two same way. And people still live down there. Same way. Yeah. A serious thing going on. But me I tell us say, and everybody come and say church or Christian brother if we run into you. Come and tell us say I see him experiments what you say I know. Some of them soldier them did they say and even some people even they attendant of now kind of say, yo, right now in free that church. Cause if I so pastor was gather up with the brother, brainwash up. Cause it's like no what the man do cause me go there no man. They make say pastor naked you know. Handcuff no, lay down pan him belly no. Naked no brother. And it's like he make give a sound like he ball out and the member them you know, the whole of the woman them cause the police had them on one side. Soldier pen them up or strap on them you know. You see me? I had them on one side and I'm leaning over spine being like him ball out like and you hear the woman them when they scream and the gallant want go help him. After the man then they kill him one another brother and they stab up him one another. Brother so knife the pan the scene and sign but I first me say my knife is some Rambo knife long in my youth. But the man they have a stab up him one another.
It's listen, imagine that in this day and age, sacrificing, one woman's throat was slit, blood sacrifice, and these people are following this man and literally giving him everything they have. There are also reports of him with boys as and in his pool, and other members holding umbrella over him while he's doing, whatever to these boys. It's like an induction sort of thingy. Man, when you tell you the world is how do you no, I mean, we can sit here and say it's crazy and how from the time that news broke, I'm trying to wrap my head around how does one become so indoctrinated and to follow someone so blindly to the point where you barely have and you give this man everything you've got. They even show his mansion where he lived and where some of his members lived. It was like chalk and cheese. And people actually followed this man religiously. And also in the news report, they're saying this man made like there's 3 services per week. There's as a matter of fact a member who used to be who did the accounting spoke where and said he literally raked in like $1 million a week. Well, that's like $1 million Jamaican a week in contributions from those 3 services per week. $1 million. And I'm looking at this man and I'm like, I mean, yeah, you hear the story of Jim Jones, but I never in my wildest imagination thought I'd hear about that in like 2021. And there are reports of there are others who are doing the same. There's more. And it's amazing the things people follow and believe in just to belong. This sense of belonging, like to belong to something or to be a part of something. Adults and adults bringing their children into this. And according to the brother of the woman whose throat was slit, he literally begged her to leave this cult. But she just couldn't see what he was seeing. He begged, he said he literally begged, went down on his hands and knees and told her to leave. This isn't good for you, based on what he was hearing. And 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 she refused and was in the process of signing over her insurance, her life insurance policy to him. Like how do you follow somebody? Listen, if y'all think I'm kidding, go to Jamaican Gossip Queen on Facebook and you'll see that ritual that I'm talking about with the goat head. All in the name of greed and money and all those things. Living, yo. If you go to that page, you'll see there are the church members who are speaking out about the blood sacrifice and how it unfolded, how it all went down. He basically commanded one of the members to slit the throat of the woman, and he did it without question. Didn't ask any question and stop and say, Pastor, you sure about this? I ain't did it without blinking or batting an eye. And he had a huge congregation, a lot of people. Listen, like I said, I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. And my advice to everyone, get to know God for yourself, have a personal relationship, and know who you're following and know what you're doing. And if you figure something ain't right about this, go with your gut. And this isn't a one size fit all, because of course, there are churches that are different, preach the word and people go to get their blessings and go their way. They don't have to sell their soul and their very last cent, to put in any coffers of anybody. That's different. But when you get to a situation where you realize that this isn't what you're here for, and you're seeing strange and weird things, get out of it. Get out of it. Someone says you can't just leave like that, and that is what I'm being made to understand. She says she couldn't leave. Another power took over her being. So, you know, I always used to say I'm not superstitious and I don't believe in those things, but I had to change my mind when I started following this story. I'm like, wow, these things actually happen. So it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't begin, and I don't want to get too deep into it and to follow it up too much because it's a lot. It's a lot that have you like, wow, like you're like an ambulance. You'll be like, wow, 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 every minute, every time you read or you listen to these voice notes and to these people who were part of this cult. If you were to listen, you'll be like, wow, 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 every second. It's a lot, and I don't want that to soak in and take my energy, steal my energy. So as Denise says, God gives us discernment and we must know when to run. Blood sacrifices is not of God, but that of evil powers. And that is my point. But the thing is, when these people are so deeply indoctrinated, so deeply into this, they don't see it that way. And like the brother said, he'd been trying for months to get his sister to leave. No matter what he told her, she defended her excellency to the last dollar. No matter what he said to her, it just wasn't sinking in. She just was not penetrating. She defending that man. It's like literally as a God walking on earth. That's how she saw him. He could do no wrong. Defended him. As a matter of fact, like he said, totally, totally locked out her family to follow this man, no matter how they tried. She was prepared to cut her family loose for this man. Boy, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's that. There's another thing that I wanted to touch on that is to do with the 3 pregnant primary schoolgirls that the Minister of Education touched on during this week's weekly press conference on Tuesday. 3, not secondary, primary. And the last time I checked, primary was like uh 10, 11. Let's give 12 for good. 12 maybe. So let's say between like 9 to 12 is of primary school age. Three, not one, three primary school children pregnant. Three primary school children pregnant. Now with COVID and children being left at home unsupervised a lot of times, because school was like for some like a daycare sort of, you knew where your children were, you had teachers and what have you to look out for them when you went to work, and they probably finished, got out 2:33, and by the time you got out around 4 5, you had, they didn't have much time to be by themselves. But now that with everything switched up with the virtual learning, parents having to go to work, guardians having to go to work, children are left to the devices to do their online learning and what have you. And in cases where they don't have access to the internet, or maybe don't have they can't make that connection, they're practically left to do whatever they want to do all day, and you don't know what they're doing and who they're doing it with. This is concerning. And not one, three. She did not disclose like the age group of those who did that, who slept with those three primary school students. And regardless, age of consent 16, that means it's rape. So they were raped by whoever it was. Don't know their ages. Don't think that was disclosed. And if that is not concerning to you, it's concerning to me. Three. And as Saran is saying, three, those are what we know of. What about those we don't? Three that they know of that is pregnant. Three primary school children. Now, if this isn't cause for concern, I don't know what is. Time and time again, we have these conversations. We talk about, you know, children being sexually abused, assaulted, whatever the case might be. And it's like we're going nowhere. It's like no big deal. It continues to happen. And there are some men who just won't let children be children. I posted something yesterday of a story from Florida where there's so many different stories regarding his age. Some saying 45, 46, 50, 55, 61, but whatever his age is, this man who got married to his just turned 18 goddaughter. And the sad part about it is when I posted it and seen women saying, and I honestly thought it was somebody who knew better, saying if that she could have said no, or that's the choice she made, and why get worked up over people and their choices and their issues, leave them. And it made me really sad, because this is somebody that I really thought, considering people have daughters and what have you, and didn't see it as a big deal, that this man 45, 46, or 50 or 55, whichever one, there are so many. And to make it worse, apparently he used to deal with the daughter, the mother of the girl, and the mother went to prison. Now, the last time I checked, as a godparent, you're the next thing after a parent. So I don't care how you try to spin it. To me, it's like incest in a form. It's just that you're not connected by blood. But I know that is the purpose of being a godparent, to step in when your parent can't, or be there to, whether financially or mentally or whatever you can think about, support your godchild. I thought that was the purpose. After, well, back in the day, it was like something serious when somebody puts your name down to be their child's godparent. It was a big deal. It's like you were the next parent. You had, the privilege to pull up on them wherever you saw them, and whatever. And also learning that they have a 2-year-old child together. So that means if she's 18 now, do the math what age she was when she got pregnant. And there are people who saying they didn't see nothing wrong with that. That's choices, and that's so you practically groom this child, and there's a picture of him raising her as a baby. So you were raising her as a baby, and now she's your wife. And there are folks who say they don't see anything wrong with that. As a matter of fact, the girl also came out and said there's nothing wrong with it. She did a live saying there's nothing wrong with it. It's and she's happy because she has somebody who's there for her, and she doesn't want any young boy to break her heart and make her see trouble, and to use her and stuff like that. And I understand that when you are a victim and you don't know better, and this is something you've known, you would automatically sound like that. So I can't even blame her, because she doesn't know better. She didn't have any other example. She didn't have get a chance to like be a kid and be a teenager at 18. And the man is saying that people are jealous of his wife and his relationship. A big old 45, 46, 47, or 50 or 55 who should be there watching this girl be a young lady and have the opportunity to date and enjoy her life before she decides to choose this one person and settle down. So it's from grooming her from that age, and she becomes your wife, and people are saying that's no big deal. It's okay. How is something like that okay though? And it's choices. And it's not our business. And someone even said that as well, that it's not our business. Let leave the people to deal with the issues. And that sadly is the problem we have today. Why we have so many, young girls falling prey to men worth their father or grandfather, because sometimes you see things, and instead of bringing to the attention of the authorities or to the teachers or what have you, you say it's not your business. You'll see them after school liming on the stones with men that are not in uniform, and they are in the uniform, and you pass your way straight, turn your head, it's not my business. And that sadly is the problem. Too many times, things that are supposed to be our business, we say it's not our business, and things that are not supposed to be your business, you make it your business. A lot of the times, you pay attention to grown, consenting adults, what they do, and make what they do your business. And children who don't know better, it's not your business. Things that don't concern us in no way, shape, or form between adults, grown, consenting adults, it's your business. You find a way to inject yourself, to talk about it, give your opinion. And things like that, it's not your business. And as Marlene says, anyone who thinks it's no big deal is part of the problem. This is part of the rape culture that's prevalent and normalized. But again, I just want to end by saying to the parents and guardians of children, especially young girls who are at home, unsupervised. We understand you have to go to work. We understand that you're probably the only one working, and the times being as it is, you need every cent and what have you. But we need to come up with a plan pronto to protect these young girls who are at home, left to their own devices, no parental supervision, no guidance, no nothing. And nobody's concerned. We have to definitely do some. We have to have that conversation, because this isn't right. A primary school student, primary. Like I said, the primary age is between 9 to like 11, 12. So imagine if she didn't say the ages, but primary alone is an indicator. So imagine three of them if they're at 11 years old, 11 and pregnant, or 12 and pregnant, or 10 and pregnant. I don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah, there's a Stockholm syndrome as well, in terms of, victims sort of trying to protect the perpetrators. We're aware of that as well, you know? And there are even situations where they say they love the person. It's crazy. Brian, it's a good question you're asking. Who are protecting these kids? Where are the laws? I don't know. It's like everything has taken a backseat to COVID. And if it's not COVID, it's nothing. I don't know. It's like COVID, it's not COVID. It's not a big deal. I don't know. But like I said, this is really concerning. And it's just Jeffrey saying, oops, Jeffrey saying young children are supposed to be the future of tomorrow. How can they be if they've been victimized? I don't know. Anyway, we gotta go. And I hope you'll be able to join us again next week where we'll have another ladies' room. So until then, thanks so much, guys, for chiming in and, of course, keeping me company. What's going on? Why did it freeze? What did I do? Anyway, of course, our ladies' room came to you through the kind compliments of our friends at Esquimalt Variety Store, Beacon Insurance, and the Western Union. They made it possible for another week. So we're looking forward to hearing from you next week. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks so much for coming through.